The emperor penguin is a wondrous animal. It lives in the polar Arctics, very, very cold, frigid weathers, manages to survive, and it manages to bring the next generation into existence. But if you study the process, you might find something very, very unusual. You see, the mother female emperor penguin will lay an egg. Now, it's quite a large egg. It will take this very large egg and very, very carefully waddle over to the male. The male's feet will be together, and the female will very, very gently place his egg onto the feet of the male. If this egg were to touch the ice, it would freeze, crack, the baby would not be born, but the mother is ever so careful to make sure to waddle over, carefully transfer this egg to the feet of the male penguin. The male penguin has this sort of pouch covering made of its fur that covers the egg, and the male will stand feet together in that position. The female will then go to feed, the idea being that the female will try to fatten itself so that when the baby's born it will have an ample milk supply. The female will leave the male and the male will stand there. But here's what's amazing. It's rather cold, and the male will stand there day after day after day for weeks, often for months at a time. The female will have to travel great distances to find an opening in the ice. It'll dive in and it will begin hunting. And it will hunt and eat, and it will come back many weeks, often months later, and the male is still standing there. The male will lose up to 25% of its body weight. It's not eating. It's effectively starving to death. It will stand there. The female will come back at just the right point. The egg is ready. It'll hatch. The baby will come out, and the mother's ready to feed it with the milk supply that it built up. Now, here's the amazing thing. Who taught the male and the female to do what they are going to do? If it's their first mating, they never had a child before. Why does the male do it? Why should he spend months of his life eating himself to death, basically surviving off his own fat, eating himself? Why doesn't he just leave? Because God put into the instinct of the male and the female all of the desires and wisdom to bring the next generation into existence. They don't think about it. They're pre-programmed to do exactly that which they're supposed to do. But when you study animal behaviors and when you recognize that oftentimes it doesn't serve them well at all, quite the opposite, and they're not aware of a next generation, but instinctively they want to bring it forth and do whatever it takes, you begin to see the wisdom that God invested into this world, and you have an eye glimpse to the wisdom and greatness of our Creator.